Hello, welcome to another book report. I almost didn't review this one, but I did read almost all of it, so I figured I should at least do a short report here. The Contrarian, Peter Thiel, or Thiel, I don't know how to pronounce his name actually, and Silicon Valley's Pursuit of Power by Max Chafkin. Pretty well written. Max is a features editor and tech reporter for Bloomberg. Also has appeared in other. Anyway, he's basically I guess what you'd call a journalist these days. So pretty good writing, and well researched. Although Peter Thiel. I'm just going to say Thiel. Peter Thiel is a very private person, so while it's well researched, a lot of it feels really gossipy, which is why I skipped some sections of it. But I did read most of it. I did read it beginning to end pretty much, with a few little skips, just because it was a window onto a part of Silicon Valley and venture capital that I'm not really familiar with at all. I mean, I knew Peter Thiel's name. I knew the kind of right-wing reactionary, sort of hypocritical libertarian, or not. They're not even libertarians. They're just hypocrites. They use the label libertarian to make themselves feel good intellectually and politically, but really they're just sociopaths who use libertarian label as a way to get what they want, which is basically no regulation, no policing, the Wild West for big money people. Anyway, sorry about that, a little aside there. But anyway, a little window onto a bit of Silicon Valley I wasn't very familiar with. So, if you are interested in the venture capital world, and how the shadier parts of it operate, this is definitely a good read. And by shadier, I just mean basically sociopathic. I mean, Peter Thiel is, by all accounts, completely transactional. He appears to have no morals, no internalization of right and wrong, none of that. It's just purely about money, power, and the ability to wield power. And maybe a touch of philosophy. I mean, by all accounts, he's also a very intelligent person, so I'm sure he rationalizes a lot of his sociopathic behavior as, libertarianism and other bits of philosophy that he kind of cobbles together in a very hypocritical and delusional way, at least from my perspective. Anyway. Interesting window into a really sad corner of the venture capital world. And it also I didn't really take any notes on this, but now that I'm saying all this, I did have one reaction. I do feel a lot better about investing in companies that he has touched or been associated with in the past, particularly like PayPal, because he doesn't. The way he influences companies he invests in is very Machiavellian. It's all about who are the shareholders and blah blah blah. He doesn't seem to be directing the companies in any way other than as a means to wealth and power, right? Which isn't without. That's not entirely there are problems with that. It's problematic. in certain degrees, but in other ways, it does make me feel a little better. Particularly companies that he was involved with early and then left. I think his effect on the corporate cultures is often minimal. Even with companies he's still a shareholder in, like Peloton, or no, I'm sorry, the defense contracting one that's gone into private companies, servicing private companies now. Palantir, that's it. So anyway, this one I should probably redo and edit a little bit, but it's good enough. All right, until next one, happy reading.